you're finally making some sense. What's the plan? Now you're finally making some sense. Now you're king. Now you're king. Now you're king. Now you're That's your deal, man. Skating is whatever you make it. It didn't change. You're the one that changed. Now go skate. You'll remember why you started in the first. You'll remember why you started in the first place. You're the one that changed.
Yo, what is up, everyone? It's your boy Dale Duck, back for another intermission. We're still getting things set up a little bit, but we're gonna be bringing you The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, another 100% run. After that, we have Hollow Knight, which I didn't even know was happening, so I'm very excited. That's after my shift, so I get to just go slide into bed and fall asleep to possibly my favorite indie game of all time. I don't really have a whole lot. We don't have any donations. I still really want to see us hit 4K by the end of the marathon, but and that requires people to donate. If we can get like a $5 train or something going on, I think that would be good. But in the meantime, I want to know, what did everyone have for dinner? Or whatever the closest meal is to your time zone, if you're not in the Americas. Alright, we got Moe's. That's a good one. I like that. I had D's. Okay. Alright, I'll do it. What's D's? Anyone in chat know what D's is? Salmon and butternut squash. Let's go. I still haven't had dinner myself. I woke up and am doing this, and now I'm waiting for my groceries to get here. I had to order groceries because I'm doing this and couldn't run to the store. But it's all good. We all make sacrifices for the good of others. In this case, the good of Gerri. We should, y'all should donate if you haven't. And also if you can afford to. And also if you have and can afford to. In fact, actually, they're in the building. Hold on. Had to let them in the front door there. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say, so I guess we're gonna go ahead and finish setting up, and I'll bring you in. So enjoy.
water is safe. Reclaim your past. At the bottom of your ocean. At the bottom of the ocean. The bottom of the ocean. The bottom of the ocean. At the bottom of the ocean. The bottom of the ocean. What's at the bottom of your ocean? Water. Jump out of your tree. It's past the ocean. Don't end up like that bridge. The water is safe. Reclaim your past.
Alright, I'm back again. We're almost set up. All the audio is good. We're just, a couple more seconds here, and when the little birdie in my ear tells me we're good to go, we're good to go. So, yeah. Okay, we're seeing some stuff here. This is what I was interested in. If we hit 4K, Dayman will run Smart Ball at the end. 5K and he runs back again. 10K he drives cross country to acquire a copy of Smart Ball. Oh god. That's a long way for a game I've never actually heard of. But I'm excited. Let's see it happen. Let's hit 10K before we go offline tonight. If we hit 5K, we have 2 runs of Smart Ball extra that we can donate during. What even is Smart Ball? I kind of want to see this run, like actually. It sounds like Monkey Ball if it was bargain bin. It's a SNES game, alright. Understood. I'm a bit of a zoomer. I haven't really played any SNES games in my life. Besides like Super Mario World, if you count that. And like some of the earlier Final Fantasies. Oh, is it actually happening? Are we getting a Smart Ball run? Let's go. Is that how we're ending the night? We're not gonna force Quo to play Splatoon this time? Well, there we go. I guess that's what happens if we hit 4K.
His eyes adjust to reveal the camp surrounded by a perimeter of large rocks. He sees the tree ball field back in the middle of the campgrounds. All 6 of his friends playing together without him. He hypnotically stares out the window as the uneasiness completes inside his underground ocean.
You can still do that, don't be silly. You're right, Shuli. In fact, I'm gonna volunteer Quo for this one. If we hit 4K, not only do we get Smart Ball, we also get Quo to play Splatoon. So, look forward to that, because we're definitely gonna do it. I believe in you. Reminder to hydrate, by the way. Because I'm about to do that, and then we are going to bring it into The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. So I will be back with you momentarily. Yo, what's good, everyone? We are here with the one, the only Glan, ready to speedrun A Link to the Past. Take it away.
Hey, what's up, gamers? Welcome to A Link to the Past 100%. Just to give a little rundown of the category. This is a major glitches category, so there'll be a lot of really weird and ridiculous looking glitches to get around quickly. And the goal is 100%, so that's going to be the max upgrade of all items and all hearts and half magic. So to help commentate, I'm joined by CJitsallGewd.
Hello, Glan.
Hello.
Good luck on the run.
Thank you. Alright, so probably just get right into it from there. There's a lot to explain, so may not get it all, but hopefully we can. And I'm ready to start whenever you're good.
Yeah, go ahead and count us down.
Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Alright. Where to begin? So, we're starting here, pretty basic, start of the game, bed. And we're gonna go through the escape sequence at the very start, which we do in most categories, but not all. Although we're gonna do it a little bit differently in major glitches runs compared to no major glitches, which I know is what most people are used to watching with this game. So I guess maybe Jax can talk about that a little bit.
Sure, yeah, like you said, we start with the escape sequence, and Zelda is calling Link to rescue her from the castle basement, and what we're going to do is we're going to use a glitch called the EG to navigate through this dungeon and rescue Zelda. And and EG stands for exploration glitch. We usually just call it EG, but the main principle is it is an improper layer change. So in this game we have two main layers, upper and lower, and if Link moves from one layer to the other when the game does not want him to, or in a way that's not intended, we call that EG in some way or another. So we're seeing Glan walk to the castle right, and he is going to use pause buffers to move Link one frame at a time. With sword out, Link gets a special movement to bypass the railing, and there he goes. He was just walking over the room, and with a hop, he's walking under the floor.
Yes, this is kind of like out of bounds, except it's more powerful than it's kind of like out of bounds. You have very free movement on the lower layer, because most rooms don't have a lower layer, like anything to find down there.
Right. So all the exploration is mostly on, like, underneath the floor, so to speak. Alright, so here's the ball and chains guard, and Glan is using a safe method to dispatch the green guard, and use two pots to beat the ball and chains. And this ensures that we do not get hit. Taking damage takes us out of EG, or it sort of activates EG. In other words, it resolves the layer transition. And that's what we needed to do intentionally there once we rescued Zelda.
Thanks for all the good lucks, by the way. And I like seeing some frogs post in the chat room. It really makes me happy to see. So, at this point, we're just continuing through EG, and we're going to bring Zelda to the Sanctuary. It's a little bit faster this way than to go escape normally. You're actually saving the bulk of your time skipping the first part, or second part, I think, but overall it saves a little under 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half.
Not sure if you mentioned this, but another thing we saw Link do was hop into the void, and that activated EG again. That allowed you to get hit by ball and chains and get back into EG.
Yeah.
So
basically, jumping directly into the pit is like an incorrect or an incomplete jump down a lower ledge, which is what arms EG. So I did that again there. I jumped in the lower wall of Sanctuary and then save and quit before landing. Actually, the cutscenes start in the middle of the jump, so it's on a timer. It's easy to push, just time it with some sword slashes.
yeah, and that last one in particular is one of the more well-known forms of arming the glitch.
Yeah, it's been known for literally decades at this point.
And now we are off to Eastern Palace. Seems pretty normal so far, the next dungeon. But we're taking a shortcut to get there. We're using something called a citrus clip, and it is a fast way of clipping left side slopes. And the screen wrapped Glan, so that when he hopped off of the cliff, he landed at the top of the screen, right in front of the eastern entrance.
I have my armed EG still from the save and quit out of Sanctuary, and I'm going to actually activate it here. This one's a little bit unique in that I'm going from inbounds to inbounds, as opposed to every other use of EG, which is to get out of bounds. But it skips a loop around the dungeon. Saves about 30 seconds to do this.
Yeah, this one's always fun to see. It's not visually impressive, it's just a surprise.
Yeah. Otherwise, dungeon's not too glitchy. We're gonna get a little damage boost here. Not exactly what I wanted. So the rest of the dungeon is more or less just a bunch of combat rooms, just a mini gauntlet. But then after that is when things are going to start to get really broken.
Yeah, at the very end of the Armos fight, we'll start preparing with making Link do some things to set some values and so forth.
Yeah, that's
But yeah, like you said, it's all about combat here, and at the end of Eastern Palace, we just want to stay alive.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's ever died in East.
I don't recall that ever happening to anyone.
Let's see if I get arrow drops here. I'm fine. I guess I got one already.
Alright, we have an Armos Knights fight. Solid 5 right, 1 down.
Every roar erase.
And shoutouts to Pinkus for that strat. A modification of the 5 right strat.
So now the Eastern's done, we can get the Pegasus boots. This is kind of the primary reason. I always do Eastern really early in every because you need to beat it to get the boots, and the boots let you go fast. And not only do they let you go fast, they're also extremely useful for a lot of glitch applications. One of which we'll be seeing in not too long after this.
Yeah, one thing we're seeing is the Japanese version of the video game, and in all of the categories we play, the Japanese version is the fastest because of the text speed, but it also allows us to do some minor glitches and some major glitches as well that are not available on the other versions.
Alright, so we're gonna head over to the Lost Woods here, and we're gonna pick up a couple things there that we need. Then we're gonna go right back into EG and start picking up some major items, major glitch implements, if you will.
I think I have a guess about which item will be picked up first. And I was wrong. It's the mushroom.
Yeah. Not the Cane of Samaria yet. Alright, so we're gonna see one thing here that requires the do, which is a bomb clip. Here I'm gonna line up on a precise pixel and go here and then dash into the bomb and get hit, and it'll push me into the wall. And now I'm out of bounds in the lower layer, so I'm in EG again. And just a few rooms over here is Misery Mire. And I'm going to pick up the Cane of Samaria, and I guess you could talk a little bit about how I'm able to do that.
How you're able to...
Open this chest.
Oh, how are we able to open this chest? Well, we've defeated Ball and Chain Guard, and it drops a big key. And for some reason, this is one of the keys that allows us to open up big doors and big chests while we're in cave state. In other words, anywhere where we enter from a cave. We also can open any key door we like, because in cave state we start off with essentially -1 key, so that the key graphic doesn't appear. And I might be butchering this a little bit, but essentially every time we use a key, we're just subtracting one of our 255 keys.
Yeah, that is how it works.
And with Cane of Samaria, we can use Samaria transition corruptions to spoof data, to move Link very, very far through the underworld.
Yeah, it basically alters what your room ID is set to without actually moving to a different room. Transition as if you're in that room. Bomb? No.
Yeah, the cane is famous for being all kinds of glitchy, basically.
Yeah, it has
do everything.
So many different uses and different glitches. It's honestly incredible.
And we just saw Glan pick up the hook shot from Swamp Palace, then Moon Pearl from Hyrule Castle, from Tower of Hera, and then Glan needs to leave Tower of Hera. So he found a hole where he can fall down and just leap back into EG to just navigate around the pegs, basically. And that is a hole that is sort of just there.
Yeah, it's actually only in 1.0.
Right.
Yeah. Because you can just jump there and go into EG, and it's it.
And leaving Hera, we can now collect the mirror, the magic mirror from the old man.
So I guess I'll talk a little bit about why we get the hook shot so early there. The hook shot, along with the Cane of Samaria, is used for a very powerful glitch called hook pushing, which is in general an application of a broader set of memory manipulation called misslotting, which is a very, very complicated glitch to explain, but a simple explanation for it is that we're using our items in a certain way so that we're going to force an object to spawn into a memory address that it's not supposed to. And that causes it to access memory that it's not supposed to and cause all sorts of weird effects. Including being able to make the hookshot read data from another object to determine where and how far it should move Link.
And meanwhile, we are seeing Glan clip out of a corner of Tower of Hera and navigate to Thieves Town, where we are blowing the hole that shines light into the boss room and enables us to defeat Blind. It's just so funny. This is called Attic Skip, and the thing that it saves is the time that it takes Link to go upstairs and do the same thing, except in the original dungeon where we're supposed to do it. It's just faster to clip there from Hera.
Yeah, especially because we can skip more of the dungeon as well if we don't have to go to the attic. There I used a clip to get off of Death Mountain, which we call DMD, Death Mountain Descent, which is a very powerful thing because the only open warp to the Dark World that doesn't require gloves is on Death Mountain. So by getting off of Death Mountain, we're able to get to the Dark World without gloves.
Yeah, and we still have the palette of the of Death Mountain loaded, so things are slightly glitchy looking, not too bad though. And now we're in the main Dark World.
And we're coming up on the first of the notorious things in 100%ing this game, which is the chest game heart piece. So this game has 2 heart pieces for minigames, which are RNG, and they are completely not manipulable. I don't think this is gonna work. Yeah, okay, well.
We created a slot 9
Just do
block.
that normally. I tried to do a push there, but I kind of messed up the setup, so... Fortunately, just bail on it. That one only saves a few seconds. Yeah, you can talk more about it if you want. Maybe third try.
Oh, nice.
I have to go get the red boomerang.
Don't recall what the miss slot and chest game accomplishes.
You just push over to this room. A few seconds faster than...
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. Try to get it back up.
Yeah, hook pushes change the routing dramatically, but it's fun. We still use them for small time saves as well. Here's another example of clipping railing to get into EG and to navigate through Thieves Town. And in this segment, we'll be collecting a few more items.
Yeah, so pretty soon we're gonna do another misslotting application. In this case, we're going to misslot a bomb. So kind of a very basic rundown of, they're called ancillae, the objects.
The stuff that Link makes, basically.
Yeah, they're basically memory slots for them. There's 5 slots that are intended to be used for like most things, and then another 5 slots that are intended only to be for particle effects like sparkles. But we can actually use some technique to something went wrong there. That wasn't slotted.
these glitches can be very finicky, so if they go wrong, that just is something that can happen. There we go. We popped back. How do you say this anyway? We popped back to the upper layer, basically.
Yeah. There's a little not quite agreement on what that should be called, but a lot of people call it a weird shot after the OT glitch. Basically, if we miss-slot a bomb into slot 9, which is a slot it's not supposed to be in, it causes the hook shot to grab collision on the opposite layer that Link is on, and then also pull him up to that layer when it latches onto some things. That to pull ourselves out of EG back inbounds to the proper layer, which we did there to get the big key in the Genghis Tower big key room. And then go upstairs for the red mail. And click back into bounds in G again. Head over a few rooms to House of Darkness. And there we actually used the room that Mothula is in, since it has a full floor conveyor belt. That has a special property that makes it so that Link immediately goes back to the upper layer when you enter that room, and by being near the very top screen transition, we can actually just get back. We get pushed up to the top layer beside the screen transition, and we can transition into the dark maze. Please let me pass.
Ouch.
Okay, I'm not sure what I can do here. I don't think I have any magic. He's gonna drop magic. Okay. Here we're gonna do a hook push itself. Oh, I don't have enough magic. Okay, well I guess I'm not doing a hook then. Run's already going just as planned.
Yeah, that's the nature of glitched runs, especially those that require a lot of resources.
Yep.
But that's okay. The main goal is to save time in the rest of this dungeon. Is that correct?
Yeah, that one's just to save time, so I can just walk around instead.
And we don't have any lift upgrade yet, so we have to defeat these enemies to open this door.
Yeah, pretty convenient they put that in. Even though you only need the level 1 gloves to lift that block. So, basement here. It's straightforward. We're gonna get the Titansmiths here. This is why DMD was so powerful, is that we were able to skip getting the power gloves and go straight to getting the Titansmith.
And with Titansmiths, that is our maximum lift upgrade. We don't have to collect intermediate upgrades to fulfill 100%. Alright, now we have to plan the blind fight coming up. It's pretty normal. Blind always takes 9 hits of damage to be defeated. But we do have a shorter sword than we normally would when playing the game.
Okay.
Nice.
Alright, and that's our second dungeon done. Did dip into Palace of Darkness earlier with the hammer, but didn't do anything to beat it. We're gonna actually be doing that a little bit later in kind of a faster one.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of transformation in routing glitched categories lately, and shoutouts to Hodarubi and Yuzuhara for running major glitches categories, and
They found a lot of stuff.
yeah, especially last year. which was really wild to see. But first, we have more of the notorious 100% collection items to fulfill.
Yeah. So now, before we even go to another dungeon, we're gonna do a lot of overworld collection, about like 11 minutes of it, and then we're gonna go back to doing a bunch of dungeons. So one of the first things that we're gonna do here is we're gonna head over to the digging game, which is the other really notorious RNG of 100%. So it's another heart piece we have to win through a minigame. How this one works is that we have 30 seconds to dig as many times as we can, where we can get about 37 digs in that time limit. And every dig after the 24th has a 1 in 32 chance to drop the heart piece. And if you don't get it, then you just have to reset the game and try again. That's it. Be cool.
So if I understand correctly, every attempt at the mini game will be about a 1 in 3 success rate.
Yeah. With 37 digs.
Yeah, when executed properly to get the 37, or as many as you can possibly get.
So just dig really tight together like this. There's absolutely zero way that anybody playing this game casually knew there was a heart piece here.
That's what we had strategy guides for.
But we knew there was a heart piece there, and we just stole it. Guy didn't even have a chance to tell us to screw off. Just in and out.
Yeah, I think what you call that is a mirror bonk, where you can you get like 1 frame of something to occur in the light world before you're forced back to the dark world.
Yeah, because we mirrored on top of the stump, so it sends us back immediately.
And we passed by it quickly before, and we don't necessarily have to mention it, but we also skip a cutscene where the flute boy plays and animals run away, just because we're standing over a mirror portal after picking up the flute, which is a neat thing about glitch modes.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that 100% too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Pretty cool little tech. Pretty easy to do as well. Alright, game, give me your heart. Oh, okay, that's 3 tries.
Fourth tries to charm.
Yeah, we're...
And again, we cannot see it until after the 25th dig.
Yeah, which is after those digs. Every other one. Drop it. Dang. This is why I definitely didn't make my estimate too low. Definitely did not do that.
We have plenty of time to make up.
This is the pure 100% experience right here. This is what you all want to see. It's 100%, right? If I got it first try, you wouldn't even know it was RNG. You'd just be like, oh, okay, there's the heart piece.
Was that 5?
Yeah, that was 5 already. I got like 4th or 5th chest. Now this. I can talk a little bit, I guess, about what we're gonna do after digging game. A little bit after this is gonna be a very long hook pushing sequence, which hopefully goes well because I haven't gotten to do any hook push yet this run so far. Doesn't bode very well, but... Oh yeah, let's go. Should play on US. Why would I do that, Fox?
Perhaps Fox is referring to the different RNG.
Better dig game RNG? I'll get right on that then. It's just like tag team over to US version, play digging game, and go back.
Yeah, I remember that being a chest game
Uh-oh.
situation.
Okay, safe. 7th try, let's go.
Lucky 7. Okay, so we had some dungeons to do, didn't we?
I mean, those can wait.
Yeah.
Who needs to
that's
do a
true.
dungeon?
I want to see some EG2.
Yeah.
So the game, for some reason, breaks the 2 sections of the underworld into what we call EG1 and EG2. In other words, the main multi-entrance dungeons, all the dungeons that is, and all the multi-entrance caves are on the main map. And then the secondary houses and smaller caves are on G2. So they are all connected with each other. And Link cannot traverse between these 2 maps.
However, we can go between rooms on the same map, and we're gonna pretty shortly. A lot of hook pushing. Hook pushing is gonna look like I kind of just use my items very randomly, and then I yeet somewhere. There's definitely a science to it. The main mechanic of it is that we have to misslot a Samaria block into slot 9. And what that does is it decrements a certain memory address by 1 every frame until it reaches 0. Which happens to be where the game stores basically an index of what slot the active hookshot is in, so that it knows where to look for the values that determine where to move Link. And when that gets changed down to 0, the hookshot is going to use the values associated with slot 0 instead of its own. And as long as we set that up correctly, then we can go almost wherever we want. As long as we have something to hookshot onto, which exists almost everywhere. It's not attaches to many.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there are some surprising objects as well. So here we are in the Peg cave, and Glan is setting up a slot 9 Samaria block, and setting the direction that he wants to go to the left. And there he goes, to the left. So this gets the heart piece of Checkerboard Cave. now the goal is to go up. So we're setting this direction. Looks good. Now we are in the Pyramid Fairy Fountain. So we'll collect silver arrows and gold sword. And in 2019, 2020, this was the end of this hook push marathon, but we still have more mislotting that we can do.
Thanks to some more recent mislotting discoveries, one of which being the weird shotting I mentioned earlier using bombs. So now I'm going to go into EG, and I'm going to do some mislotting under the floor that you can't see. It might have not worked.
So just to the right is Fight Cave, or Burna Cave. And there we go, we've popped back to the upper layer.
Oh, what? That was weird. I think I hooked the heart.
Yeah, we've seen some funky things happen in this cave. So right now, we're going for what we're now calling a stuck push. In other words, a stuck hook shot. Magic is less of a concern here because we can get this hook shot stuck in place and we resolve it and push Link exactly that distance, which is enough to get to the next transition, and now we're in library.
Nice. Yeah, I lifted the pot too quickly and the other shot grabbed the heart instead of the pot.
And by the way, we leave all of that and we're still at Peg Cave and can pick up the purple chest.
We're going to use a minor glitch that was discovered, I think, in 2018 or something.
Sounds about right.
Fake powder, where if you use the Cane of Samaria when you don't have enough magic for it, basically there's a value in memory that says you are currently using an item that stays on essentially for 10 frames or so, which is like the length of the animation of swinging the cane. And if you swap to either the mushroom or the magic powder in that time, then it uses it because it thinks you're using an item. So we can use that to get the half magic from Magic Bat without having the powder first. Which saves a little bit of overall time because we have to trade the mushroom to get the magic powder.
And it's convenient that we have no magic now, so we can use that trick.
Is now a good time for a donation?
Sure.
We do have one from Gartog with $25. It says good luck, Glan. I just wanted to get it out there before the run was over and it was too late. Carry on.
Thank you, Gartog. Appreciate that. Doing a pretty good cause here, helping a friend of...
We're also seeing the hookshot used for its normal purpose of just pulling Link to objects that help Link move faster, including rocks and signs. And by the way, we're doing boots clips to navigate this section of the world more quickly.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here kind of all concentrated close together. Like, physically close together. We can just kind of jump around between it. We used to include Checkerboard Cave in that too, but not anymore since we can push to it.
For anyone interested in a link to the past, glitching and speedrunning, boots clips are a lot of fun and can help Link navigate almost anywhere in the overworld as long as he has the Moon Pearl in the Dark World and Pegasus boots. The overworld slopes operate a little differently than underworld slopes, so they happen to be very interesting in how they teleport Link and and how they make Link hop, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not too difficult. They're kind of difficult to do quickly, but to do it all, not that difficult. They're pretty fun. They're a great way to get started, where I got started. Just doing some clips, and then a long rabbit hole, and now I'm here.
There's so much that happens in this run. Even the oh, and by the way, nice bird dash.
I love that flute
That's a good one.
dash. It's so satisfying for some. Alright, so now we're finally almost going back to a dungeon. We have 2 more heart pieces to go first. So I now have 9 hearts. When I left Thieves Town, I had 6. That's all from heart pieces, so that's just how much I've done.
Right, and in this category, I would, I would think that it would be easy, like, if you wanted to max out Link's heart containers to 20, it seems like it would be easy to duplicate them, but in this category, we don't allow that.
Yeah, we do have source requirement of sorts. It's not super strict for the dungeon prizes, but otherwise it is.
Yeah, essentially we pick up all unique heart pieces. And a nice example of super speed using the hook push, a hook dash.
Now we're finally gonna head to Skullwoods. We're still not gonna beat Mothula. We're gonna do something a little bit different, actually. But first we have to get the Fire Rod. And here we're gonna use another Samaria Transition Corruption. And this is going to load the room ID of the north of this, which contains the big key chest. And so when I open this chest, it pulls the data from that room. I get the big key. And we're going to go for another book push here. This one is going to put us into EG. So this is what I mean when I say it looks very random. Because I just threw the boomerang at a wall for no reason. Seemingly no reason.
Still scratching my head over that one.
It sets... I guess I can explain it during the crystal cutscene.
So we entered Skullwoods. We earned the Fire Rod. Now we're going to defeat Mothula. Is that right?
No, actually, we're gonna beat Helmasaur. He's here.
Nice weird shot back into the upper layer.
So what's gonna happen here is we've gotten into Palace of Darkness, but we started from Skullwoods, and so this means that the dungeon ID that's loaded is still Skullwoods, which means when I pick up this crystal that drops, it's going to give me the Skullwoods crystal, crystal 3. But because I killed Helmasaur, it's going to put me outside of Palace of Darkness, so then I can go back into Palace of Darkness and get that dungeon ID, and then I'm going to go to Mothula and kill Mothula and get Crystal 1.
And this is a fast way to earn 2 dungeon prizes without moving Link from one dungeon to the other in the overworld.
What was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, the boomerang thing. So the hookshot actually has a basically unused feature that we can make use of through hook pushing. It's thought to be kind of a remnant of a feature that they didn't end up including, where the hookshot would actually work across different layers. So the hookshot has a value associated with it that okay, that's not a... That should work. Make you want to grow your hair out again? What you doing? Okay, I gotta explain Mothhill first. The gold sword, or Chex can do it. So due to kind of an oversight in how they designed damage classes, you cannot damage Mothhill by slashing him with the gold sword. So the only way to damage him with the gold sword is to poke him with the sword out and walk into him. Which makes for a very interesting fight. It's optimally not really slower than a tempered sword fight, but can go very wrong.
It's so awkward that we have to wait for Link to finish slashing before he can poke.
Yeah. So to finish kind of the explanation about the hookshot I was saying before, basically it has an unused feature that only triggers if a certain value associated with it is not 0. And normally this never happens because when you fire the hookshot, it sets it to 0. But since we can get the hookshot to read data from other objects, we can actually have it read a non-zero value, and then it will trigger this unused code. And we can use that to change Link's layer through hook pushing. That's also what happens with weird shots. It's the bomb sets out 0 value.
For anyone who saw Glan's run at Games Done Quick, the All Dungeons run has changed significantly since Weird Shots kind of exploded that route.
Yeah. It's something that's been known basically since the beginning of mist slotting, but it was only originally known that it worked with the boomerang, which was extremely awkward, not just in execution, but also in the fact that you had to get the boomerang. But having it work with bombs is much more free, because bombs are everywhere, you always have bombs.
And we just earned the Ice Rod with a teleport to sneakily get through that cave entrance, and that saves a menu.
Yeah, it saves like 1 second because you don't have to menu twice. Pretty terrific.
And here's another little minor glitch, the mirror block erase, to get us these chests quickly, or just the piece of heart that is.
Yeah, another 1.0 exclusive. Oh, I made a really stupid mistake there, right in the vulture. Oh, and I opened the map by accident. Oh no. And I'm getting hit by this BMOS 11 times. Oh, this is so bad.
It's so many times that it just jumped right out in front of you like that.
Yeah. Oh.
So we have a trick coming up called Death Hole, which, as ominous as it sounds, we do sort of drop Link's health to 0, but we're going to use this glitch, we're going to drop Link's health to 0 as soon as the game wants to transition him, and this is combined with
for content.
Okay. Very good. Clutch. So here we are. We were at Argus, and incidentally, we're using the cape to scroll the boss all the way to the top, and we're already in phase 2 of Argus.
Yeah, Argus is just at the end of that hallway, right?
Yeah, this seems like a normal swamp palace.
Yeah.
Where we earned the desert pendant at the end.
And also the pendant cutscene doesn't play. Completely normal.
Nice. Fanfare skip there.
Okay.
Yeah, Swamp Palace is really neat in this category. Since we defeat the boss in Desert Palace, and then that puts us at the entrance of Swamp, where we can quickly get the crystal by doing a hook push just to the east, which is Mothula's tile.
Yeah. So this is the room left of where you fight Mothula, but like in the same super tile we call it, which is a collection of like 2x2 single screen rooms, roughly speaking. That's like the basic unit of the Underworld map. And to grab the wall there, it saves a few frames of lag during this cutscene from all the text.
And is that because the game is not drawing Link's shield?
Yes. I actually wonder if this lags more with double the text on screen. I don't know.
Yeah, and that is an effect of the Death Hole glitch.
Alright. We do save and quit and reset the console there. We have to reset to clear some memory that was set during the cutscene of getting Bombos. That's going to be relevant a little bit later.
Alright, so next up is Tower of Hera. We've been here before, but we didn't defeat the boss.
Yeah. Okay. Well, actually first was getting stuck in the wall, and then it's Tower of Hera.
So up next is Tower of Hera. We've been here before, but we didn't defeat the boss.
That time was right.
Phew, good.
And we do another bomb clip there. To get out of bounds, to EG, hop into this pot, teleporter in here that brings us right up to the top of the dungeon. Since you're intended to fall in that hole north of me, and fall all the way down the floors to get in there. But we can just get into it first floor and use it as a shortcut up to the top. Goldorm, everyone's least favorite boss, this time with the gold sword. So he's just dead.
Not even a rage phase. Here we have another opportunity to skip a fanfare. Very nice.
Both fanfare skips. It's another application of a slotted Smarty block to slot 9. Couldn't tell you why it works, it just does.
Yeah, that one's pretty peculiar.
Just like, like half of Yuzuharu's discoveries, I could not tell you why it happens.
There are so many. So now we are on our way to Aghanim 1. So with a juke past the transition with the block that can also be done with a bomb, we have found Aghanim's room, and we have to dash past his screen an extra time to get in sync with the sprites. Of course, this is an infamous boss for its blue ball shots. In this category, however, we get to save another little bit of extra time by skipping the lag of the lightning shots and that animation sequence, basically.
Yeah, when we scroll off screen like that, basically reset his attack. If you do it like right after he shoots lightning, it makes him go faster. I think it's like
Glan just has
0.7 seconds per lightning or something. Not that much.
nice fight.
That was
And Glan
4 blue
has to
balls.
just Glan just has to be careful during that fight when trying to skip the lightning to not slow down the warp and reset Aghanim's position.
Or you can like do it too early and then just resets his lightning attack. Got to the lamp.
Right, and when you use the lamp, that I don't know if we talked about that too much, but it sort of sets your search index high, which prepares for mislotting, basically. And there's a little bit of collection to do now, and we'll be sort of headed to the north end of the map.
Yeah.
Defeated Aghanim, so we can collect the lumberjack tree item very easily.
I want to wait until we can get the lumberjack tree or doing some northern stuff.
And you collected a blue potion. Is that for safety reasons?
Oh yeah, I'm really bad at this game. I almost died to that Beamos.
Yeah, you should have collected a potion before that.
Yeah, true. Beamos was just too hard, man. I agree, glitch categories do not get enough love.
We'll see another sort of one of my favorite parts of glitch categories, which is Plaid World, and we will be using the blue potion to enter that world, basically.
Yeah. I'm gonna use the potion for a Zuhar's Bottle Adventure, might be short, where you drink a potion and hit a screen transition on this frame. Nice guard. First, we're gonna jump up into the clouds here.
Fun part of navigating this area is when Link interacts with the clouds and the barriers. It's kind of like walking through water and jumping into water, but we're kind of skipping the splash section with Glan's dashing.
Okay, it's safe. I could have used backup then. Luckily, there actually is another way in. Alright, so we're gonna be heading to Turtle Rock really soon. And that's where we're gonna enter Plaid World, which you'll see why it's called Plaid World when we get there. But we're gonna, to get there, we're gonna do YBA, where we drink the blue potion at the same time we activate a screen transition in a doorway, which has a variety of effects depending on where you do it and what type of potion you use. But the way we're gonna do it, we're gonna do what's called a fake flute. I did not mean to go in. Back out. And a fake flute is basically, it calls up the flute menu, fully functioning, except that we're in the underworld, and it can't it can't load overworld screens properly in the underworld. So it's gonna basically have the game turn into a broken mess for a little while. Where it's going to try to use the overworld tile set, or the Death Mountain tile set specifically, because we're going to flute to Warpoint 1 in the underworld, so it's going to look really awful. And it's also... didn't want to transition there either. It's also going to attempt to use an overworld collision map in the underworld, which doesn't work properly. And that's going to result in most rooms, the collision link interacts with based on just kind of arbitrary values in memory. Which means we're going to have very free movement everywhere. As well as some other oddities. The first one we're going to see immediately after warping here. There's actually a rupee floor rupee tile here that doesn't go away after stepping on it. And so you can just pick up 500 rupees from there for the flippers. And so yeah, welcome to hell.
Fortune. Here we are.
So after splashing in the water, it resyncs our coordinates up because we don't have the flippers. And we transition down a screen to that room of Swamp Palace, and Landmole is right. Now, remember what I said about collision based on memory? I don't think this is going to work. Yeah, okay. So in this particular room, there is basically a barrier that I cannot pass, like a few tiles down in the room here. And in order to kill Landmola and grab the heart container, I need to have the last one die high enough up that I can grab it. Nice double hit.
Yeah, Landmo RNG is real in this category.
Yeah, I've lost like 15 seconds to or something.
The dark room tiles are so interesting looking with the light cone.
So another
Tower of Hera is way too bright.
Another side effect of Plaid World is that the camera's a little messed up. I don't know exactly how it works, but because we did it, or we drank the potion going north, if we go to a tall room that spans the whole super tile vertically, the camera will not lock at the edge of the room north or south. Which will, if we take a transition there with the unlocked camera, it'll cause a bad transition that desyncs our coordinates and makes it so we can't interact with any sprites. Which means I have to take a very specific route that avoids these bad transitions. So now we're gonna fight Trinex here. Or, I mean, he's already dead. He's dead.
Very nice. Trinex is a little trippier than all the other bosses since he moves with the background.
I don't trust this. Okay.
So we get to fight a bunch of bosses here, and we can basically pick up the crystal when we're done. And since we entered Turtle Rock, this will be Crystal 7.
Line up on a 2-pixel lineup here. Dash through all the eyeballs. He's dead with 2 silver hearts. And now because there's no music playing, it doesn't play the fanfare, it just goes straight into the cutscene. It's another nice little time save.
Yeah, this is one of those weird things we just kind of put together recently.
Yeah.
to figure out why we get this skip.
Now we're out of Plaid World, and if you're particularly observant, you might have noticed that even though we killed all those bosses, we didn't get all those dungeon prizes. Although we did get the blue pendant for Linmola's, we did get that earlier when we fought Argus. So the only one we're missing right now is Crystal 6. But because we just killed Vitreous, we exit out of Misery Mire. We're gonna go right back into Misery Mire, and we're gonna go into EG and go to Trinax's Super Tile, and that's gonna drop Crystal, which will be Crystal 6. Crystal seems to be having some structural problems. Well, I unfortunately got rid of most of Vitreous's eyes, so I don't think he was able to see properly. He made a pretty shoddy crystal. And we have to do a little bit of a setup there to be able to get to the crystal. Since I can't see where I am under the floor.
It can be a little frustrating if we, for some reason, don't catch the crystal.
Yeah.
It's a sort of a sort of a chase sequence of random D-pad modes to find it.
Yeah. So now, because we got Rhinex Super Tile, as we got that crystal, come out of Turtle Rock, and we're gonna just mirror and go back into this warp so we can get out of the head. And continue our collection a little bit. It's just a couple more things that we need to get here. Which is the medallion.
Yeah, because we need this medallion to enter Turtle Rock. No, wait, we were just there.
That's one of my favorite
Actually-
things. You finish Turtle Rock and then get Quake.
I had forgotten that there's more to collect, so I almost expected us to go back into Turtle Rock to finish the next to beat the next boss.
Yeah.
To beat the next boss, yeah. But yeah, like you said, we have to collect a few more things. Catfish and Zora are right next to each other.
So now we put to use all this money that we grabbed from Glitch Mess. When we went to Catfish, we saw something we saw something that was earlier at DMD, which is a funny auto walk thing, or a FOT for short. This is kind of a weird looking transition where if Link is like mostly underneath the transition when you hit it, you do a really long auto walk that bypasses all collision. We're gonna do another one here to get to the island in Lake Hylia. Which you otherwise have to mirror to from the Dark World, and it's just really out of the way. And it lines up so perfectly, almost like they wanted it to happen.
Yeah, I think it's intended.
Just kind of jump through the wall here, because it's just what you get to do in this game. You just walk through walls whenever you feel like.
I forgot that. And I forgot that you employ a hook dash plus hook to the fence, which is a neat little time save.
You also get to stun the guard with a hook dash before walking through the wall.
Right.
So it actually is faster to flute here than to swim, because swimming sucks. Surprisingly, it surprised me.
Yeah, this is one of those things that we have to time to figure out what's faster than some other thing.
So Ice Palace is pretty much the last dungeon we're gonna, which is fairly common for glitch categories since there's not really anything here of note. The dungeon item is the blue mail, which we don't need anywhere. So usually it just gets relegated to the end or wherever it happens to fit in convenient.
And unlike some other categories, we do want this big key, which is not used for the blue mail or for the path to Cold Stare, but for later, for the next boss after.
Yeah. We did a little icebreaker trick with Samaria there to get through the rail. It's a really neat little trick.
Yeah, that was discovered at the beginning of 2020, which was a pretty exciting time for speedrunning this game.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stair/rail clips that we saw you do throughout the run were sort of developed from tech that we found applications for around that time.
Yeah.
Shout outs to CJitsallGewd once again, of course.
Alright, Cold Stare's dead. That was a really hard boss. I almost didn't make it alive. Pretty big change of pace from Cold Stare in Old Dungeon when I ran that at GDQ.
I forgot how that one went.
It's, in that route, you have 4 hearts going into the boss at Green Hill. You just die instantly to any hit.
In some of these glitched categories where Icebreaker is allowed, the big chest can be opened for an additional safety if we were not collecting 100% of the items and maybe we want blue mail. But yeah, but like you said, this is quite a contrast. We have 20 hearts and full power, basically. Alright, so now we just need to fight a couple of more bosses. So we have Aghanim 2 next. So we're seeing Glan, EG, and we're already at the boss room.
Just
And
do a
with one
weird
more
shot.
weird shot. Perfect.
And of course we need the big key from Ice Palace so we can open that door. It only costs a few seconds to pick up. Yeah, so I see in chat mentioning the diagonal hook push that you can do in Ice Palace. There hasn't... Silver arrows are very different from regular arrows in the slotting applications because they have a lot of sparkles, so there's not really a consistent way to do that push with silver arrows, which is why we don't do it here. Or there hasn't been one found anywhere.
As always, Aghanim puts us at the pyramid after the cutscene, so it's a convenient route to Ganon.
Ganon is just fought like normally. Technically skippable with EG and hook pushing, but we keep him as a requirement for most categories just because it's more interesting that way. And the goal is to have fun, not to arbitrarily cut a half off the speedrun.
So we have to defeat all the major bosses here. And we have collected all the prizes, collected all the maximum equipment, and 20 heart containers. Nice setup.
2 double shots.
Nice fight. GG's to Glan. Nice run.
Nice run. Time, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to mention.
Nice time, by the way. 1:14:06 on the timer. Puts you underestimate.
Yeah. My own personal timer says 1:14:04. Show bottles. I would have to sit through the whole credits to have 4 bottles. Yeah, silver arrow sparkles are actually very useful for a lot of mist slotting. All the weird shots that I did, other than the first one in Thieves Town, were done with a silver arrow.
Alright, well, GG's. Is there anyone to shout out here before we...
Twitch.tv/Glan.
Yeah, sure.
Ooh.
Also twitch.tv/ChecksHuman. He also does a lot of cool glitch stuff. More than I do. Like, cheat on Link to the Past with other games all the time.
Good stuff.
Yeah, if this looks interesting to you, you could definitely hop in the Discord and ask some questions about it and stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of our documentation isn't amazing, just because like a lot of stuff changes all the time, and we're lazy, but we'll always answer questions. Major glitch categories are a lot of fun, and yeah, don't get enough attention compared to NMG, which is what everyone's focused on, so...
Alright, thanks so much for the run, and we're going to take you back to intermission here shortly.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, putting this together.